up and deep fried. So.
No, Ty, don't. That's not how cold opens work. You don't get to just say whatever you want.
I wasn't
That's
trying
what a cold open.
Like...
Ladies and gentlemen, it's OU Texas week, and you know what that means. It's time for us to get together and talk about the state fair. It is one of our favorite shows of the year, so let's get this started.
I love how Bobby has put in all this work this week to make cool intros, and he's played it all, and Ty has botched both of our intros for the Texas reviews.
You can make a graphic. You can't make everything work perfectly, and that is okay. That's a part of the charm of the Schooner Pod, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Speaking of which, welcome back to the Schooner Pod. I'm Bobby Howard. With me today, we've got Jameson, we've got Ty, and we are here to talk about the most important thing we talk about every year, and that is the State Fair of Texas, a tradition genuinely unlike any other in college football, coming up on 100 years, 100 consecutive years of OU Texas at the fair. And look, anyone who knows OU Texas knows there's a way to do it right, and there's a way to do it wrong. There's a lot of ways to do it in between, but between the three of us, we have a bunch of seasoned experience at this one, and we're here to guide you. If you don't know OU Texas, this is where you want to start. If you do know OU Texas and are excited to hear about the things that are coming your way, this is a good place to go too, because we are here to talk about all the new food items, the new Big Tex Choice Awards, and I'm excited to break it down. So, Jameson, first off, what does the State Fair of Texas, specifically around OU Texas, mean to you?
It means so much. And every single time that we get brought up of moving it away from the Cotton Bowl, I get mad. Just OU Texas at 11 a.m. Thank God it's an 11 a.m. game. I got worried that we might have a 2:30 with College Game Day, but an 11 a.m. game outside of the Cotton Bowl amongst the Texas State Fair just gives it that special feeling. All of the college students hungover, walking around. There's just nothing else like it in college football.
Ty?
Yeah, look, here's how I think about it. I'm a Cowboys fan. People say that the Dallas Cowboys are America's team when it comes to football. I don't necessarily know that that's true, but the Texas State Fair is America's State Fair. There is no other state fair like it. There's some, I'm always going to shout out my Big Ten, my agricultural states, but like Nebraska, Iowa, I'm sure they have tremendous state fairs. It's not the same. Like the atmosphere of the Texas State Fair, and then the fact that you get to have a game there and add that game day atmosphere to what is already, I think, the best state fair in America. It's one of the most like American days I think that you can have, and it's just the whole experience is just, you have to do it. Nothing else I think comes close. You can make your arguments about this rivalry game as whatever like this. The Iron Bowl is not like this. The Iron Bowl is just another football game that matters a lot. The Ohio State versus the blue team, their game is not like this. Whether it's in, I think they call it the Big House or the Tree Nut, whatever, the Tree Nut Shoe, whatever Ohio State calls their place. I call it the OU flag holder because that's where you plant the OU flag. But it's not like this. That's just another game that just happens to mean a lot. This game is bowl games aren't even like this. It's so unique.
Right.
And I can't wait to dive into it.
It's absolutely everything. You said it, Ty. It's the best rivalry in college football by far. It is spectacle. It's rivalry, true, genuine dislike between the two sides, between the two states, all on just the grandest stage. perfectly in the middle. It's just everything you could want from college football. The games are always good. Both brands of football are always good. It's just it is perfect. So look, getting to the game, and I know that sounds like a boring topic, but it's always a debate in a way. Jameson, where do you fall on this? It's Dart all the way, right? Has to be Dart all the way.
It depends if you're a really early riser to the fair. If you get up whenever you know nobody else is getting there, you can pull off an Uber there. It'll be long, it'll be a little bit pricier, but you don't have to worry too much about the Dart. That is just an option in terms of you're just throwing financials out the door. But Dart is always the way, and I know Ty loves it because there are no laws on the Dart. You can bring your drinks on there even though you're not supposed to, and have a couple of extra pre-games before you get some wax cups in you.
Yeah, look, I'm a big proponent of the Dart. The main thing is do the game however you want to do it. You know, I fully understand. I have a pair of shorts, one of my favorite pairs of shorts, right? One Dart ride ruined them just because of the seat that I had to sit in. I'm still sad about that. But, you know, I understand people who don't like the Dart because it's maybe inconvenient depending on where you're staying or where you live. You know, maybe there's safety concerns, whatever else. But if you're going with a group, it's just so the atmosphere for me. And every time I went and took the Dart, we started at one of the like farthest north stations up in Carrollton. So it was like an hour plus ride on there, and just getting excited as you continue to descend into, you know, Eastern California's biggest city that is Dallas. It's just, it gets, the atmosphere just gets so pumped up. There's more fans of both sides getting on. And just as you get closer, eventually the cars are full of people just packed out in the uniforms. It's such a cool experience. But yeah, however you choose to get there, that's not the important thing, I don't think. But if there were a parallel universe where drinking on the Dart were permitted, because it's not in our current universe, and I would never recommend that. But if there were a parallel universe that's exactly the same in every way except for that one rule, I would definitely recommend, you know, packing up a little cooler or your pockets or whatever else, and just day drinking on the Dart in the morning to get there.
I think ultimately the biggest thing you can do is be patient and plan for what's ahead. I understand, you know, whatever you may be doing the night before, you might be a little tired, but it's one of those things where you want to soak up the experience. And if you're spending most of your time upset about how many people there are or how long things take, then you're kind of missing the point. If you think about the State Fair of Texas, it's really just a game of going from line to line for certain things. You're either in line for coupons, which we can tell you how to fix, or you're in line for a corn dog. You just have to relax and soak it all up.
Mm-hmm. Yes, let's go into coupons, Bobby. Have you purchased yours early?
So I've not yet. I'm going to. However, I have. Here's the thing about the coupons. So if you're not familiar with coupons, they are, for some reason, the State Fair of Texas has its own currency, which are called coupons. They're these little ticket things, and each one of them is worth $1, which is weird because wouldn't you just use dollars? I don't know. It's very, very strange. But they roll over, and I have a lot of coupons rolled over, Jameson. And
how much? How much
41.
did you buy? Okay,
41
that's a lot. That is going to go so fast.
Oh, I know.
Bobby,
I know.
That is going to go
buying more. I'm buying more, but it's a good start. It's a good start.
Legitimately, your first trip when you walk into Fletcher's, it'll be gone very, very quickly.
Well, okay, that's the other thing. When you go to Fletcher's Corny Dogs, you don't buy a beer. Which is not worth it.
Yes, but are you going to double dog it?
I'm going to single dog.
Okay, you're going to single dog it, and then obviously you got to get dairy.
Hold on. I need to think about it. That.
Here's the thing,
I'm
Bobby.
undecided on my dog count.
We're not gonna cast blame on this podcast, but we're not gonna say whose fault this could be. But 41 State Fair tickets, right back in say 2015, you could have purchased a 3-bedroom house with a pool in Dallas for that. Now you'd be lucky to get 3 Fletcher's dogs for that. So doesn't go as far as it used to.
They used to be 50 cents. And then
Yeah, I
they
was about to
doubled
say,
them in 1
I
year.
remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers whenever they were 50 cents. And I remember the year that they carried over to $1, and I had 2-time investment on my money, baby.
Stonks. That was like NBA Top Shot, but for State Fair coupons. So Jameson, I think we could agree. Prepaying for the coupons is definitely the move. The State Fair of Texas has made it as difficult as possible to get to that point. However, we have not. We are here for the people. Check out that description below if you want to buy early. We have the link right there. Click that. You can get right to it.
It's not a special Schooner Pod link, though. This is just
No.
a random. Texas State Fair is not endorsing us to say this.
No, but they should. But yeah, no, it's completely just us being cool. We also have a link to the Dart there, so you can go ahead and purchase your passes and all that. We're also not endorsed by the Dart. We just really like public transit here, Jameson.
I love public transit so much.
Here's one, right? Because I feel like we've been a bit incoherent. Hard facts of the Texas State Fair. Bobby, you'll be the only one able to go of us this year. Unfortunately, is the Fletcher's Corny Dog beer with mustard on the rim available this year at the fair?
As far as I can tell, I don't believe so.
I think Revolver just did that one time, and I actually looked not too long ago to see if I could find anyone who had some 6-packs just hanging around and were selling them. There's some people online on eBay that are selling those corn dog beers, empty cans, for like $30. I'm not even kidding. Obviously, you can ask anything on eBay, but there are people out there trying to sell their empty corn dog beers.
Oh my God.
I'm serious.
That's
why
wild.
I hope they have not been bought. Because I was hoping to find just a nice 6-pack to kind of quench my thirst.
It's a proper sicko move, but the mustard rim was pretty great back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is a PSA for all people now that we're talking about corn dogs. I know if you're listening to this, I believe in you. You're not that kind of horrible person. And most people have kind of understood this person. But don't be the person who goes to the regular State Fair corn dog foot long and it's because Fletcher's line is too long. Don't do that. And I understand, I'm buying into corporate America. I'm buying into the Fletcher's brand. And how much better is it? It's a lot better. It's a lot better. I don't care if you say it's just a minute difference. It is so much better. Go and wait for that. The Fletcher's batter is just second to none.
I mean, absolutely. It's a different level of dog. If you go to any other corn dog stand and just get a regular corn dog, might as well just get them at your local Walmart. It's not anything different. But the Fletcher's, it's different. It hits so different. Now, I'm a traditionalist. I like the original dog, but they have multiple dogs. They have the Cheesy Pup, which is a little cheese dog thing. They have the Texan, which I believe is like a brisket dog. But the original dog just that hits different for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm always a fan of double dogging it.
Ty, what are your thoughts on the dogs?
Yeah, no, so I'll come out and say it. I'm not necessarily the biggest corn dog fan in general. I know a lot of people, like their Sonic corn dogs. They like their corn dogs. I'm not necessarily the biggest corn dog person. So for me, I got to agree with y'all on the Fletcher's thing. Fletcher's has good corn dogs. And if you're going to go to the Texas State Fair, it's one of those things where you got to do it, because you got to ask yourself, if you weren't at the Texas State Fair and you were just sitting at home, it was a normal week, normal weekend, would you be eating that random corn dog from that random person who, doesn't necessarily look like their tent has passed a health inspection ever? Would you eat that? Probably
Maybe.
not. So my thing is eat the Fletcher's one. No, but I'm talking about the non-Fletcher's ones. So eat the Fletcher's one, right? The appearances, it doesn't matter. It's the experience. It's to be able to say, I had the Fletcher's corny dog. It's like going to a big name brand national park nowadays. They're all going to be packed out with a bunch of millennials in Toyota trucks, just trying to take a picture. You're going to go thinking that it's like Instagram and you're going to stand in line. It's going to be super crowded, but you went. You got to have that name brand on your Instagram post. That's just how it is nowadays. Got to get the Fletcher's Corny gold.
Yeah, and I know there's kind of
With
like
mustard.
a big thing of like, where do I go? And there's multiple Fletcher's lines. I also think that it's almost a must to go to the one right next to Big Tex.
Right.
I think
because
so.
you got to pay tribute to Big Tex in general. So why not get a corn dog while you do it?
Completely agree. I think that's where you go straight off the bat. You walk in, you don't stop. You run right to that line, and whoever you're with, they get coupons. You do a little back and forth here, and it's going to take some time for you to get to the front of the line. Once the coupons are acquired, there will be multiple coupon lines as you walk in. Skip the first couple, get to the third or the fourth, and that person meets you in line at Fletcher's, and it should be a pretty seamless transition.
Right. You got to get into the meat of the fair because everyone's hopping to that first one. They're not thinking to go deeper. And then, that's where you usually like right in that Big Tex circle. That's where the coupons really start hitting. But I'm with you. So we've talked a lot about the day of before stuff. What about the night before? Friday nights, look, when we started this podcast, we were young, we were spry. Jameson,
Trophy room.
What's that?
Was it like the trophy room?
Trophy room.
The big bar.
Something like that. Yeah. You had just graduated. I was in my last year at OU. And then, it's a little different now. We're a little bit older. So y'all don't have this issue because you're not going to be there, unfortunately, but I have to figure out my balance because back in the old days, I just party all night on Friday, bounce back Saturday and just roll through it. I don't know if I can do that anymore.
Yes,
boys.
you can. You can. Your body can. That's your brain saying that I can't do that. Your body was made to do these things. You can push through that.
Jameson, you are a doctor, so I think I have to trust that advice right there.
See, the thing is, your brain is already conditioning you right now to saying, I don't think I can do it. I'm not, cut out like I used to be. Yeah, maybe you might have a little bit of a different in endurance. But let me tell you something. This is a weekend that is the weekend that you look forward to probably the most out of the whole year. Is there any other weekend, including holidays? I know, as diehard Oklahoma fans, I look forward to Oklahoma, Texas weekend whenever I'm going more than any other weekend of the year. Suck it up. Go make sure you have fun and don't restrict yourself Friday night. And if that means, you don't have to stay out till 3 a.m. to have fun, but make sure you do everything and don't restrict yourself by saying, oh, I need to go in early. Just let the night take you and see what happens.
I think you have a good point there, Jameson. Ty, you're shaking your head no.
I got a couple. I mean, I have so many takes on that. I mean, I don't disagree with Jameson. It's like you gotta have the experience. You have to embrace the experience. Like, look, I'm a big I want to experience 1000% like the authenticity of the place that I'm at. If I am, if I'm in somewhere else, I want to live like the locals do. And when I think of Dallas, I don't necessarily think of going out to the clubs like all night. I'm not saying, try to drink Gatorade and rest up the night before, but like my ideal perfect night, if I'm talking about looking at somewhere to stay, I'm coming in from out of town, say I don't know anyone, I'm going to be getting like an Airbnb or something with a pool out in one of the suburbs. I'm going to have a grill. I'm going to be grilling out. I'm going to be eating some good barbecue, and I'm going to be enjoying the pool and the hot tub into the early evening, late evening, night, enjoying that beautiful, beautiful Texas weather this time of year, listening to some, George Strait, some country music, and I'm going to be eating good, drinking some beer, just getting mentally prepared for the night before. The clubs before the game, I don't think that's not my scene for Red River. Not going to knock it, not going to recommend against it, but I just like to live as a Dallas person the night before.
Yeah.
Do whatever floats your boat, but don't say
sure.
I can't do something the night before because this is the biggest weekend of our lives every single year. So make sure you go and do everything that you want to do.
Jameson, are
This
you
is
more
the
of an uptown? Are you more of an uptown guy or a lower Greenville guy?
Uptown.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I see that. I see you. I like
Mhm.
Greenville a little bit. Ty, what
Well,
you
I
were
mean,
saying?
I like both of them.
Fair enough.
I was going to say this is the second most exciting day as an OU fan. Maybe the third. The first is for the past 2 weeks when you've been undefeated on islands on the weekend spread, and you get to roll into a Wednesday and talk about that. The second, I think, I'm a big Big 12 championship guy myself. Just the time of the year, especially coming in as a, I guess I'll be coming in not as an OU student into that now, but when you're a student too, like the timing of that is just so perfect. Everybody's kind of got that relaxed like into the year. It's about to be the holiday seasons. Not saying that the Red River game should move to Jerry World, but that's an experience that I personally look forward to a little bit more than the fair. But
Wrong.
Okay.
No,
I disagree.
Don't say okay to
I
that.
disagree.
Don't say
Jameson
okay
doesn't
to
have
that, Bobby.
championships
I
on his mind.
love the
That's
Big
fine.
12.
Jameson doesn't have championships on his mind. That's okay.
Okay,
I
I
live in
love
the
the Big
moment,
12
baby.
championship. I love the Big 12 championship. We'll talk about that when we get there because I have a lot of excitement about potentially being at that one, shaping up to be a pretty cool sports day overall.
Yeah.
We'll get to that
I don't,
later.
I
We're
don't
not
have to
talking
look
about
in
that
the
now.
future and play comparison. I can just say
Yeah,
I'm really
yeah.
excited for the Texas State Fair.
Yeah, yeah. I will
Bobby-
say, my Friday night though, I'm definitely going to try to meet up with old Bowden Blake. I have a couple of Malort bets to pay off,
Yum.
so that might lead to quite an interesting night for me because I believe I have
think the
two.
night is already foretold for you.
Yeah, at that point, yeah, it's gonna be nuts. Okay, Jameson, what were you saying?
Yeah, I don't mean to steal your thunder, Bobby, but I know you are the Schooner Pod's expert weatherman. But have you checked the forecast for
It's
this game?
beautiful.
Because it's going to be like 72 a high in Dallas. So it's going to be a little nippy in the morning, but a little nippy in the morning beforehand. It's never hurt anybody. That's why you go get the wax cups to kind of warm you up a little bit and you get some nice fair food, some nice fried food. Don't bring a jacket. It's just as simple as that. You're going to the Texas State Fair, and there's going to be so many things in your hands. Texas State Fair, the good foods are meant to be eaten with your hands. You don't want to have a jacket that's just now a little too warm for in the sun. The way that cotton bowl is, there is legitimate like a frying pan in there, and you're just burning. And even if it is 72, you're not going to want a jacket on. So whatever you do, just wear your short sleeve or wear your long sleeve, but don't wear layers.
I'm wearing jeans, and I'm feeling like that might be a bit much.
And I think jeans are fine now.
Jeans are good. I think you can work. You could work with jeans.
Mm-hmm.
But don't. I agree because you don't want to be responsible for this jacket all day.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fun. That slows you down.
Exactly.
That would suck.
And you don't want to tie it around your waist either.
Oh yeah, hell no. But it's a perfect day. You start the morning off about like 58, 60. Get into like the game. Get up to a nice little crisp 70s. It looks to be like some of the best OU Texas weather we've had in a long time. So I'm very pumped. It looks like really good wax cup beer drinking weather, to say the least.
I'm envious that I cannot be there. I don't think I felt 82 in 6 months, let alone 72 or in the 50s. So
forget you're in the desert.
God, that weather sounds tremendous.
But Ty, join me as people not going to the game. We're going to wake up early in the morning and we're going to crack a beer and eat a corn dog. Okay. We eat corn dogs and we drink beers no matter what. I almost said hot dog, Freudian slip. But we're eating corn dogs because I always got hot dogs in my brain because we just do like that on Scooter Pod, I guess.
I feel like it's getting to be some good chilly weather out there, Jameson.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of getting chilly. Ashley actually made chili for dinner tonight.
Oh, ooh, there you go. I called it. I knew it.
I think this is a good, and we're trying to do this, organically, not have talking points, but I think this is a good maybe sidebar talking point because I think, maybe a fair bit of our listeners won't be able to make it to the game. And I know I've experienced Red River a couple times from a virtual, like a virtual meeting, not being able to go to Dallas experience. I've watched a game on a Gamecast from back when I don't think ESPN even does Gamecast anymore, but I've watched one from do that? Okay. Well, I've watched a Red River on Gamecast from Haiti. I've seen it in in Arizona a couple times now. I've seen it all over. Jameson, I think this is going to be your first in a while that you haven't been able to make it to the game.
Been since my first year of medical school, so it's been 4 years. So
Do you have any,
not too long ago.
Yeah, you got any recommendations or any ideas or any tips for? You just touched on corn dogs. I think I may have to do the same thing. May have to get to Sonic early in the morning here. The game starts at 9 for me, but maybe try to get to Sonic and get a corn dog before the game. Is there sort of a best practice for virtual enjoyment of the fair where you can experience some of that same atmosphere?
Yeah, you can go get one fast food beforehand, or you can just get some freezer ones. They're not going to be as good, but I just have a horrible, horrible case of FOMO with pretty much everything, and I hate it. I hate it so much. So I just have to do anything to find coping mechanisms to trick my brain into thinking that I'm happy. So I give myself the things that I'm happy usually with, and that's the beer and that's the corn dog. And you set up your whole watching apparatus. I don't know how I'm using that word, but I guess we're just going to get there because it's getting late for me and I'm running on like fumes of sleep. And I don't know, maybe have something set up for lunch later that day. Get some queso running, like do something fun. Make it a day.
Jameson.
So queso's.
Oh yeah, queso. Todd, you got it.
Yeah, I was going to say queso is a good recommendation. I'll keep it short so Bobby can take the reins. But I like to experience as much of the fair atmosphere as I can. So I would recommend, what I like to do is get up, several hours before the game. I'm going to go to my local DMV, but I'm going to park a mile away. I'm going to jog over there so that I can have the experience of standing in line for like a couple hours. And then I'm going to go over to Sonic, get a corn dog, and then I'm going to try to sprint back to my house to be able to just catch like the last 5 minutes of the first quarter. And then from there, I'll basically feel like I'm at the fair.
That checks out. That checks out. Every time you and I have met up at the fair, that you basically have followed that schedule in a way. But Jameson, you can actually get Flusher's corny dogs on Gold Belly, which they'll ship to you frozen.
What?
Oh yeah, you can get them shipped to you.
I looked last year just out of curiosity if they ship.
Here's the problem: you a 6-pack is $54. Which that's a lot of coupons. That's 54 coupons.
I would
probably too many.
Done it. I still would have done it. I wish I had done this beforehand.
It can probably still get to you.
Probably not. If you know how frugal Jameson is, you know how much this means to him. Because $54.
Gold Belly, you say?
I'll send you the link in our private chat. Private chat.
Man, can they do expedited shipping?
Can you expedite my corn dogs?
Oh my god!
Did you find it?
$54.95.
Oh, hey, you can finance them,
and you can add a T-shirt for $20.
Four interest-free payments of $13. Davidson,
I love
corn dogs.
You can add a T-shirt for the actual just normal price of a T-shirt. It's amazing.
You got me. All right.
That's funny.
Y'all talk while I try to see if I can get these shipped to me in time.
So I think 1982, and I think Bobby, you've been able to link up with 1982 at the fair a couple times, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
for sure. Bringing up a good point. He's asking about the fried Dr. Pepper stand. I think that's a good segue into fair food. We've touched on the corny dogs. We did a cold open. I'm not sure how much of that was actually heard on the live about the deep fried pho. We'll sort of touch on the controversy that is that, because it's a great college football story. But
oh my god, great story.
Fair food, that's generally, pun intended, the meat of this podcast. We always do our little spiels about an Uber or about a certain Airbnb or about a certain hotel or methods of insertion, extraction, blah blah blah. But the fair food is really the core of the fair. And I think there's no better time than now to jump into that fair food and the unique, delicacies that are to be enjoyed this year.
I can get the corn dogs Friday for an extra $20.
Oh, $70 corn dogs. Oh man,
60 plus 20 is 80, but yeah.
Oh,
fair.
No,
okay,
it's
fair.
55 plus 20, so both of you are wrong. But still, I can't do it, guys. That's
That's too much.
That's too much for me. For that reason, I'm out. But yes, let's talk about it. Honorary mention of before we go into Big Tex, we have to mention our favorite place at the fair where everyone should go get their beers. It's Beer Barn. There's just no doubt about it.
Heavenly. It's the best beer stand. Only 6 coupons. I think maybe less.
And their
coupons.
mystery beer of the year, will it be PBR again?
Last year's Lone Star, which I really appreciated. I really appreciated.
That is right. It was Lone Star. Was it PBR the year before?
It was PBR the year before. It was definitely PBR at one point.
Yum.
It's basically the same beer. Let's be honest. It's made by the same company. But yeah, it's a little stand right in front of Cotton Bowl Plaza. Right in front of the giant marquee that we all know. And I'm a little concerned this year because it is a year where College Game Day is in town. And last time game day came through, it was 2021. They kind of mucked it up, got in the way. And it kind of cluttered it a bit, but we carry on. We still go to the Beer Barn because the Beer Barn is the best place to get beer.
Hey, let me share my screen, Bobby, so people can see it on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are shifting now to our. Oh, what the hell? There we go. Yeah, we're shifting now to our map mode here, so you can see the lovely Fair Park. It's right there. 21 is where you can find the delightful Beer Barn. That's where you'll find me and my buddies getting a couple brews before the game. I literally made sure to pick my tickets this year to make sure I was closest to the Beer Barn, so I did not have to go very far to get a nice crisp Lone Star or Scheiderbach.
So follow my mouse. Can y'all see my mouse with the little plus sign on here?
Yes.
So this is probably where you're coming in, right? You're coming in here to this Chevrolet main stage, this entrance at gate 1, right? Or if you're coming in from the Dart, you're coming over here at gate 4. So from the Dart, gate 4, you're going to stroll your way along. And you got to follow it all the way to.
You actually come in just the Dart gate. Typically, you have to walk along the Esplanade there. You can't go behind it.
The Esplanade's great though. That's fun.
Yes. So we walk along the Esplanade here, as is always. I always like going under this Texas Auto Show awning because I'm trying to cut past the slow people that are walking next to the water. And then you're going to loop around and you're going to see Big Tex. Take a right, and this is right where you're going to start to see coupons. Right here where this Bank of America, I think is that logo, is right there. Get your coupons right here, and then Fletcher's right next to Big Tex right here. This is like, I feel like I'm Tony Romo with the guy on NFL, like I'm drawing things. I wish I had a little marker on this. You get your Fletcher's corn dog right there, and then you're going to head around all the way over to Beer Barn at 21.
And look, there's a big fair out there. There's a lot of, like, if you want to take a loop. Going through the midway is kind of fun. It's worth, especially if you are just now seeing this for the first time or you don't have a big experience. It's definitely worth a little walk around. But I think you definitely start with the Big Tex and the Corny Dog, then maybe get a little walk, and then post up at the Beer Barn so you're ready for game time. What are your thoughts on staying after the game? I think that's like kind of a must.
Yes, it is a must, but it just takes a lot out of you. And there's been some years where I've been so mad I just can't do it. But I've tried to mature myself because even if you lose, even if it's a tough game, put that aside. Like I said earlier, this is the weekend that you've been looking forward to the whole year. This is better than holidays. So whenever you lose, remember that the game was at 11. It's probably around 3 o'clock already. That is a full half day that you just be throwing in the trash. Go and extinguish your tickets. Have a good time and try to make something out of them.
And don't give away the coupons. So many people
those people are
don't do
stupid.
that. Don't do that. I will say, like, last year was probably. Oh, this is an older map too. Last year was probably the
2017.
Oh, this is
2017.
Yeah, this map.
Yeah, wait,
Jameson.
Yeah, hold on. Figure it out. Okay,
I don't know. Take me off the shared screen.
All right, we're moving Jameson from the shared screen so we can figure it out.
I just clicked the first one that came up.
Shared screen privileges.
All right, I
Yeah,
found the
I can't
2023
speak.
one.
I can't. I
It's pretty much
fumbled
the
it. I
damn
fumbled it
same
worse
thing.
than the map.
it's okay. There we
It's
go.
pretty much the same thing,
It's-
other than I'm pretty sure there's a dinosaur here now.
Yeah, there is a dinosaur there now. That is
Can
about
y'all
it.
Text
Good
spot the
is
point.
different
difference?
off the- I think you had
Mm.
pre-burned down big text too.
No, not at that point. I don't think so.
When did he burn down?
Like 2013, maybe? Maybe
No,
12? No, it might have been
No.
12. It was in high
No.
school. He burned down in high
Okay.
school.
cold take.
When we were
Oh,
in
yeah,
high
it was
school,
2012.
rather.
It was 2012.
Anyways, okay, where were we? Yeah, last year when we lost 49-0, like I stayed after. The Texas fans weren't that mean. I think they felt bad for me, honestly.
2012.
So yeah, it's just worth to try to maximize your day. And football is a lot. It obviously means a ton to us. We spend hours a week talking about it, but at the end of the day, there are other things to soak up, and you don't want to miss it up. You don't want to miss this chance and regret the corn dogs you could have eaten. But anyways, let's talk here. Anything more on the main map, or are we trying?
No,
Is it
let's
time to
go
move
into
to
Big
food?
Tex.
Yeah, let's move into the Big Tex Choice Awards.
I was
Every
trying to
year.
move to- yeah.
Every year, the items, the food, always interesting, and this is a creme de la creme. The best of the best voted on everyone. And look, Tyler, let's kick this off because you found something just remarkable about our winner for best taste savory, which is the deep fried pho here. Apparently, a lot of high drama going on in the world of fried food in Texas. What happened here?
Yeah, look, there's big controversy. Maybe we can share them in the description post broadcast or something like that because it's going to be impossible to shut them out. But there is big controversy in the world of Big Tex Food Choice Awards this year. There is a restaurant, a food provider that is alleging some pretty serious allegations that they were basically blacklisted from the fair. The allegation basically is that they won with deep fried pho, depending on how you pronounce it.
Euro is essentially what you're saying right there.
Well, Euro is the correct one, but some people pronounce it differently. We got to be audio friendly. It's tomato, grape, as people say, depending on if you're
There
Greek
it
or
is.
not. Anyways, there's some allegations out there that are rolling around in the Dallas Morning News and other Dallas magazines about how a similar product was chosen, and then the food providers had some religious sort of requests to fill out for their thing, and they were basically blacklisted from the fair, and a copycat was put in their place. So there's definitely some scandalous stuff there, very college football drama news. But yeah, otherwise looks like a really, really good product. I will unfortunately I won't be able to support either side of this drama, no matter how I feel about it or not. I didn't know I was going to be put on the spot.
Here's my thinking, Ty.
You said to
I do
Link
have
about
a firm. I was joking. I was joking when I said I was going to go on a soapbox about a whole bit. It was going to be.
How could I joke? How could I?
It was
find
going to
that
be
as a
in
joke?
line with there was no controversies about food providers before the ticket inflation stuff.
But I'm buying into this. Here's the thing. If this deep fried pho, like burrito mix, like kind of quickly talking about it for your podcast.
Well, it's more like it's
Yeah.
more like a chimichanga, not to cut you off.
Okay.
But
Right.
it is deep
Yeah.
fried.
It says bringing a southern flair to this popular traditional Vietnamese comfort food that is both rich and savory. Deep fried pho is handcrafted, rolled up in deep fried Texas style. The unique combination creates a perfect balance between flavorful and refreshing. Okay, this is a bunch of blah. But to tie this experience together, it is served with a side of pho broth for dipping, lime, jalapenos, cilantro, hoisin sauce, and sriracha for a spicy fiery kick. Here's my thinking with this. So it wins the award, like we see at the top here, for best taste savory. And if it was a copycat, it makes me think that this is some artificial, the Big Tex Choice Award voters already had this in mind as the winner. and it just makes me want to try this even less. I'm, to be honest, looking at these Big Tech's Choice Award winners, I'm not very impressed at all. And it seems like that they just keep on trying to throw these advertisements of Carbach in my face that I am just not happy at all here. I think there's a lot of issues going in internally in the Big Tech's Choice Awards committee.
I feel like it's been sullied in terms of sponsorship. I don't know how to feel about this. Ty, I see you pointing.
First, okay, so I was put on the podium here for something that I'm not actually passionate about. There are two big things that I actually truly am passionate about when it comes to the Big Tech's Choice Awards. One is that Carbachtoberfest, which I don't think is listed here, but Carbach's Oktoberfest beer is the best beer ever created in the United States, bar none, period. I think, unfortunately, it's not featured here. I'm fiending for it. But I will always go on a soapbox for Carbach just because of that one creation, even if the others are meh. Okay, the second one, more important, because I'm a big hater. I love hater takes more than I love takes that have been produced out of love. What you should never do in any way is support Biscoff, right? It's the free food that you used to get on Delta Airlines, and now you get it on every airline.
Kind of like
don't pay for Biscoff. It's not good. It's like the hardtack that they used to give to Sir Lord Nelson's sailors when they defeated the French.
I bought a pack of Biscoffs from the grocery store last month.
It's like you're
Jameson actively bought the Biscoffs.
No, you're like an impressed British sailor at Trafalgar. You're like an extra from master and commander getting their leg amputated because they got a splinter, and then they're feeding you some biscuits like hardtack from the Civil War. Don't eat Biscoff ever, and certainly never give your hard-earned. You can't go, Jameson, and say, I won't pay $70 to have Fletcher's Corny Dogs airlifted to me in DC, but I'll spend any amount of money for Biscoff. Don't support Biscoff.
Okay. Let me have my take on this, because I love Biscoff, big time Biscoff person. But whenever I'm looking at
love it because it's free and you're a cheapskate.
Well, here's the thing. Whenever I go to the grocery store, I do not buy snacks at all. My grocery store bills are very, very low. It takes a lot for me to buy a cookie, and I ended up doing that a month ago, and that is a big, big deal for me. But here's the thing. Biscoff crust in pies is not unique. I think Big Tech's Choice Award winners should be something unique, and I understand they've been doing this for a long time now, but I'm just not impressed. I can go to restaurants all around Oklahoma and across, the country that take Biscoff, crunch them up, and use it as a crust in a pie. And I just don't see how this is some kind of unique, fun thing that really is kicking off as a winner of this year. I don't care if it tastes good. It just seems like it's just not that unique and cool.
Okay, you need to see how they make it, though. Have you seen that video yet?
No.
Here, hold on. I'm pulling it up real quick. I'm a pop in, share my screen.
No, here's Bobby's take right now while he pulls it up. It's Jameson. No, you just haven't consumed enough Biscoff corporate propaganda. If you just watch this propaganda video enough,
exactly. Well, I mean, look at that. It looks pretty nice. Look at the way they dip it. Look at the dip.
Looks disgusting. That looks like the Baby Ruth from Caddyshack that everyone thinks is.
It's a Biscoff.
That does look pretty darn good. I will say that.
It's a presentation.
It's just not unique enough for me. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fair.
I'd rather have whatever these bourbon banana papalas. I'd rather
there
have
he goes.
Oh Jesus. So you got that Peggy Hill Spanish pronunciation there. So,
can I just say I'm just not really excited a lot about the desserts. Bourbon banana caramel sopapillas. Not really excited about. Fernie's fried cherry pie in the sky. What is going on over here? That looks like the banquet cherry pies I can get from Walmart for 99 cents. I'm sorry, I understand I'm judging a lot just by a picture here, but I want more unique. I want to see something more fun. Scrolling down. Here we go. This is more sweetness. The sweet Encanto looks good, but that looks too healthy. Too much fruit on the top of that. A waffle essentially topped with cream and strawberry, kiwi, peach, shredded coconut. It looks good, but that's not what I'm having at a Texas State Fair. And how about this? Loop this whole advertisement thing for the Texas State Fair right here. They're talking about a Trailade pairs well with a cerveza.
It's not alcoholic drink. It pairs well with beer.
What is going on? Please, if you guys are listening to this on podcast, I will further explain it right now. Every single Big Tech's Choice Award nominee / winner, they have put a beer next to it to say it pairs well with this. And they probably have 4 or 5 beers tops that they have to pick from their advertiser. And they've decided to put a nice fruity lemonade, like cucumber mint, strawberry / raspberry lemonade pairs well with a cerveza. Pardon me?
I'm kind of with Jameson on this, only because Karbach, they featured it with a different dessert. Karbach makes, if you were to force an alcohol pairing with this that wasn't a tequila or vodka or something, Karbach makes a ranch water that they've decided to pair with something else. That if you absolutely had to pick a Karbach product that would pair with that, I could see an argument for mixing a strawberry ranch water in with that, because it would produce sort of a spritz cocktail. I don't understand it. I can't.
I just got my raspberry lemonade. Now I got to go get my beer. What? It's wild. Quit it. How about you just leave out a beer from that graphic? It's as simple as that.
That's wild. Absolutely wild. Have we talked about some of the savory ones yet?
We need to go to the savory, because savory is
it's another disappointing one.
So, Bobby, you posed this question earlier, and it's, what do you do after the fair? I think you hit the savories after the fair. Here's my stance: is you hit the corn dogs. You hit the corn dogs pregame. The corn dogs are made in the morning. You don't want to get one after the game. In the game, I also prefer corn dogs in game. Tremendous, especially also if you can get a Fletcher's in the game. That's the best thing you can get.
That's a risky move.
If you get lucky enough.
Horrible.
It worked. It worked in the COVID year.
Yeah,
it worked in the COVID year, but now it's bad. Now you just can't.
After the game,
I'll say this: just no concessions in game.
Yeah, what I would recommend though is after the game, you hit your Big Tech's Choice or whatever savory that you want to hit. And that kind of caps you off at the fair, really, because you're going to have to wait in line for a while. But yeah,
I'm looking for sweet afterwards.
Here's my take, though. It's after the game, what was it that you and I waited in line for an hour and a half?
It was a deep fried cornbread or something.
Deep fried corn.
It was deep fried cream corn, and it was so dry it was basically just really bad cornbread.
Yeah, it was. It was not worth it.
We stood by a bunch of Texas fans who, Bobby and I stood in line for an hour. For the first 45 minutes, these Texas fans were talking so much crap about how great Texas is. And then at minute 45, something came up in the conversation. And then they admitted that they went to A&M. And then they started talking about A&M for the last 15 minutes. They all were decked out in Texas merch. It was the most stereotypical Texas State Fair experience that you can have.
Yeah, it's wild.
I will say this about the savory items. The ones that are on this Big Tech's page, I'm disappointed in, Bobby. I agree. Loaded fries pizza, that is going to be so dry. That's going to be horrible.
Fries don't belong on a pizza.
And they don't. Potatoes on a pizza is not good. I've had it before, and people are trying to get too fancy with it. You're combining two things that are amazing and that just don't go well together. And that's not going to be good. And imagine this. So a lot of these foods, they're not going to be made perfection. Whenever you get them, like you said, with that deep fried cream corn, those fries are not going to be crispy, and those fries are not going to taste that good on top of that pizza. I can guarantee you that one's not going to be that good.
No, I can 100% assure you, if you try the loaded fries pizza after the game, it will taste like and have the consistency and moisture of hieroglyphics. If you want to experience hieroglyphics as a food, eat that.
Yeah, and you're already so dehydrated at the end of the game just from how much you've yelled that a loaded fries pizza is a death trap.
Exactly. It's
I will
that's
also
bad
Deep fried
idea.
deep fried cheesy crab tater bites. I'm somewhat interested in.
Here's my thing. If that was at a restaurant, I'd be interested. It's a state fair. I don't know if I'm interested in state fair crab.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. But there's a lot of seafood that's on this. Usually they try to do a lot of like Cajun style things because there's a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah. It's a little disappointing. And then like the oxtail soul roll is a little interesting with the oxtail.
Oh, yeah, go back.
I've never had oxtail. Could be interesting.
Oxtail's good. I like oxtail.
Okay. I could see that one being really good. And then the turkey ribs, that's a little intriguing. I'm not gonna lie, a little intriguing. Yeah. I could see that being really, really good.
Really, I'm just disappointed, and obviously this is controversial, but if you can scroll through them, we're starting at the bottom here. If you're watching on YouTube,
we can go
turkey ribs, but just none of these really scream Texas State Fair to me. And obviously, you don't want them to, you don't want design things to scream at you, but right, like a blooming onion doesn't scream Texas. Doesn't say
now who
doesn't
wants
say
blooming
Texas,
onion up here,
right?
The blooming onion is a wild thing. Like you invented it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Why is it there?
This bougie grilled cheese looks going to be soggy,
right? It's just
soggy
it's not. But none of this is Texas. Right? When I think loaded fries as an OU fan, I think of Beth, of course. It's just none of this really scream like I'm not feeling like I'm at the experiencing the fair. Like the corn dogs, I feel like it's the fair. These cornbread sausage bombs. That kind of sounds terrific to me, but
that's going to be dry. That is
well, yeah,
so dry.
but like crab, what about Texas makes you think crab?
Ooh, pimento cheese. That might actually be kind of good. Love pimento cheese.
Cotton candarita looks not bad, honestly.
Yeah, here we go. Cotton candarita. I think that might be really sticky. Your hands are going to be sticky for the whole rest of the game. State Fair icon meets Texas legend. Did you ever go to the fair if you didn't have some iconic cotton candy? Equally, who doesn't love the legendary Texas margarita? This duo has been perfected in an instant classic beverage, starting with a cotton candy pink sugar rimmed cup with the perfect amount of ice. A cotton candy infused margarita is then added and topped off with a dollop of fresh cotton candy.
It's quite literally Texas State Fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, what do y'all think of these churros? This churro mixed with Oreo. I think that's a flop too.
A little out on that. I'm pretty out on that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, not fond of that. The Creole etouffee beignets.
Now I'm into this.
The Creole etouffee beignets. Now that is like a very specific region of Texas right there. That's East Texas all the way.
It's got shrimp in there, Bobby. So you're a little like nervous about
Shrimp's
that.
Different. Shrimp's different.
Okay. So it's got shrimp, smoked sausage, steamed rice, and then you've got a little dipping sauce on the side.
Yeah.
And they top it with powdered sugar.
I'm disappointed you didn't read the full description because this first sentence says etouffee inside of a French donut. Oui. It's that's perfect. I think that could be good. I like a good savory beignet.
Gulf Coast Grill.
Yeah. The deep fried birria bomb. I don't know how to feel about that. Because I feel like birria is a little played out right now. Like everyone's doing birria.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
It's good.
And I know Ty's talked about this a lot in the past too. Is like you've really got to think about in terms of fair food of accessibility and how easy it is to eat.
Yes. How can I dip this? It's too large.
You don't want to be walking around dipping. You're gonna have to find somewhere to sit and eat this. Like that's gonna have to be cut. You're gonna have to take a fork and knife with this deep fried birria bomb and try to put it into that dipping sauce. It's just not gonna be a good time. Good luck finding a place to sit.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'd take the birria straight to the dome.
I'd love to Birria. Let's see.
What about
I-
this?
Whoa, deep fried honey butter brisket. Now that's
Well, I
Texas
need
don't-
Bobby's thoughts on this.
fair.
And Bobby doesn't want
Right
any
there.
kind of little Debbie with brisket in
No.
it because he's become a brisket
no. See
snob.
that
Look,
screams
It's
Texas State Fair.
It is
right? That-
anti-Texan. That is actively
No.
anti-Texan. Brisket does not deserve to be anywhere near sweet.
Let me
I-
read this for the podcast listeners. In the spirit of Little Debbie, pecan spin wheels, and homemade cinnamon rolls, the deep fried honey butter brisket swirls are a delightful treat with a Texas twist, Bobby. It's a buttery, flaky dough layered with 16-hour slow smoked chopped brisket, then rolled and cut into swirls of smoky goodness. Deep fried and glazed with secret honey butter sauce, these crispy, sweet, fluffy swirls are sure to put a smile on your face, Bobby. I think they can make you smile.
No. Absolutely not.
But they're at
No,
Smoky
see, Bobby-
John's
and Bobby,
barbecue.
look, Don't-
Timothy is in the comments right now saying, what happened to all the great barbecue down there? Here's the reason this is not great barbecue, because good brisket in Texas requires this: salt, pepper, Lowry's. That is it.
Lowry's in salt.
Okay,
But it's different salt.
No,
I'm gonna quickly cut to something. Unless, wait, Ty, you got something here?
yes, it's not supposed to be good. It's fair. It's fair food, right? If you wanted good food, you would not go to a state fair. It's supposed fair food, right? It's like the 4th of July Coney Island hot dog eating contest. It's like a marathon. It's like a triathlon. It's something that's supposed to be good because it's hard. You say, I went to the Texas State Fair, I ate the Big Tex food, and other people respect you for it because they know that you did something challenging. It's like, that's what it is. It's not about the food eating experience. I think deep fried Little Debbie brisket is the ultimate Texas State Fair food, the only one that I could in good conscience recommend beyond, the corn dogs, is a deep fried brisket, because that screams State Fair, not good, and Texas all in one. The only thing more Texan than deep fried Little Debbie brisket is talking about how you're so surprised that you bought a house for so much cheaper than it was in California. That's the only thing more Texan than deep fried brisket.
Jesus.
Okay. I've got to skip to something because I saw this earlier.
No,
And
meal
this
pie?
one, I think that no. I'm not on it yet on the share my screen. But I think some people have already seen this beforehand because it was advertised. And looking at it, I've got some problems here. So I'm gonna keep on going until y'all will see it and you'll know. The fried fireball shot. Look at this. Look at this. I've got some things. I'm gonna read the description, then I've got my take on it. The fluffy, airy, melt in your mouth sweetness of angel food cake meets the red hot and fiery cinnamon flavor of Fireball cinnamon malt liquor. After deep frying to a perfect golden brown, Fireball cinnamon is poured over the top and into a shot glass. You no longer have to choose between the angel or devil on your shoulder, Bobby, when you shoot back that fried Fireball shot at the Great State Fair of Texas. Okay, is this cheap gas station little pocket shot Fireball, or is this real Fireball? That's what I've got to know first. I would like to think it's going to be real Fireball, but this is odd.
Is there actually a difference though? Because I remember seeing that Fireball had to change its description from being whiskey because it apparently wasn't strong enough to technically be whiskey.
I think that the pocket shot gas stations at least read different, right? In terms of percentage.
I'm gonna look this up if there is a difference between gas station Fireball or not.
I was on mute. I think that was in Canada, Bobby. I think Canada has some sort of they legally define terms like the EU does for they think champagne has to be from whatever region, or they'll literally put you in jail. I think Canada has legal restrictions on what is and isn't whiskey.
Okay, I figured it. You're right, Ty. That is.
It's like when they said Subway sandwiches were legally cake.
Yeah.
In Canada because the sugar content.
Yeah.
Hey, Whitman
You're
in the
right.
comments
Okay.
saying it's the malt liquor one, not the real one.
So you're just drinking bad. Okay. Well,
And Bobby
here's the
loves
thing.
Fireball.
Well, no. Okay. Look, for people of a certain age, from like the 28-year-old range, our age group, Fireball became popular around 2014. You can take a guess where we were in 2014, but let's just say we used it a lot. We used a lot of Fireball, and you used it a little in excess in strange ways. I'm pretty sure I mixed it with Fanta once because it was the only. I mixed Fireball with Fanta because Fanta was the only soda available in the dorm for some reason, but I needed it, so it's bad. I needed the mixer, not the Fireball. So yeah, I cannot stand Fireball. I would take Rumplemints over Fireball. I would take a lot of things over Fireball.
Yum, Rumple.
I love Rumple. Rumple's great. I wouldn't take Malort over like pretty much anything but Malort. I would take over Fireball.
Bobby, I need you to go get the fried Fireball shot.
I think I might. If we win, I will take a fried Fireball shot. If OU
Find
wins,
it at Pizza and Nachos.
well, that's descriptive.
Okay, I'll click here and see where it takes me. Oh, this is just the map. This is disappointing. Please tell me. 29. We got to find 29 on the map. Right here. Right next to the dinosaur. Not far from Cotton Bowl Plaza.
Oh, that's not far at all.
Bobby.
That's a short walk.
Oh,
That's a short walk.
Is your
Short walk
right
from my
there.
seats. Oh yeah, I can go get that. That's pretty good. That's pretty great. What else do we got here? Have you seen? Okay, now if we want to talk about Texas Ty, the fried Texas barbecue shotgun shells. Now that is pure Texan. If you don't know what a shotgun shell is,
Velveeta in it.
Okay, but
that's Texan as hell. How do you think queso was made?
How are you getting on a soapbox for brisket and Velveeta deep fried, and then you're gonna gatekeep fried little Debbie?
No. This is the way right here. This cheesy, savory roll in a stick is the perfect state fair treat. I agree. Made with the slow smoked, shredded barbecue beef brisket, melted, gooey Velveeta, and cream cheese seasoned. And this is the kicker, folks. With meat church Texas sugar rub, rolled in a pasta sheet, wrapped up in hickory smoked bacon, and rolled in jalapeno breadcrumbs. It's a savory bomb that's nearly impossible to put down. I hope you mean like I can't stop eating it, not swallow it. But look, that's perfect. That is what I'm looking for when I'm thinking of Texas. Not only do you have the brisket, you have the Velveeta, which is basically like, I don't know, the state liquid of Texas, I guess. And you got the meat church. The meat church. Oh yeah. I am a disciple of one Matt Pittman, the founder of Meat Church. I have learned from him and his ways on YouTube. You got to subscribe if you want to elevate your game. So I'm all about it. I am fully indoctrinated.
Ty, taking this one down right here on the screen? Say it out loud for everybody.
I think Bobby should take one of these to the dome live.
Fruity Pebble Pickle.
I think you should do a special broadcast. Just no words. Taking one of these live to the dome.
If OU wins by 20 plus, I want
no. If OU wins,
fireball shot with the Fruity Pebble Pickle.
I hate pickles. I'm out.
I know.
That's just not feasible to get both of these in line.
No. Definitely not happening.
That's fair.
The fireball though, yeah.
It's a Fruity Pebble.
We should do a really crappy stream if we win and feature me after. Like that could be fun. But the Wi-Fi definitely would not work.
They got Dole Whip.
Ooh, love a Dole Whip.
But they call it soft serve because I think Disney's got the Dole Whip.
Can we talk about how they tried to slip a burrito on there? It's just a burrito.
That's all the deep fried burrito. I don't want to.
Ice rice, black beans, creamy jack. Yeah.
Rest in Heavenly Peach looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. What is this? Look at this red, white, and blue crumble. This is just pieces of cake in a bowl that are red, white, and blue. This is bad. Rest in Heavenly Peach, as Bobby referenced. This sweet treat will make you think you've died and gone to heaven. 2 slices of fluffy angel food cake, which you can get in a fireball shot if you want to as well, are grilled in rich butter oil until perfectly charred. The grilled slices of heaven then sit on a cloud of light and sweet whipped cream topping. The final and most heavenly touch, a cold dollop of delicious peach pie filling on top to complement the warm grilled cake. Charred angel food cake, sweet whipped cream topping, peach pie goodness. May you rest in heavenly peach.
That
I'm
looks
not
pretty
convinced.
solid. I like peaches. Looks pretty solid. I understand why you'd be a little out though. Steak bowl doesn't look bad. It's a steak.
Look at this. Strawberry
Sando.
cream sando.
This
Boring.
Okay, the strawberry cream sando looks like something that if you had a toddler, your toddler would make, and then you'd have to pretend to like it so that they wouldn't cry.
Y'all are just insulting the Japanese culture at this point, making fun of sandos. That looks pretty solid.
I just no way that they make this like actually stay together like this at the fair. This is
No,
gonna look
That
so poor.
1000% does
Yeah.
not look.
You
I
see
guarantee
how-
it has
you see how the
and
bread-
fruit.
Is that
Look,
right?
Whitman knows what's
Both
up. They're big in
slices
Japan.
combined, it has and slice of fruit in it.
Yes, I
It's-
understand they're big in Japan, but do you think Texas State Fair can actually make this like the cream and fruit actually
But
work?
again, Bobby, like
Oh wait, it's a
big-
san. It's at
big in
Sandoichi.
Japan. What
Wait,
makes that?
no.
What makes you think of Texas?
Oh yeah,
when
no.
you see it?
No, this is going to hit. I just realized where it's from. So Sandoichi is like a pretty famous like Sando pop-up. Like it's been in Oklahoma City, sells out, makes a whole bunch of money. Like if it's made by them, it'll be legit.
No, it says
Okay.
Japanese milk bread, and then the photo is
Yeah.
just clearly Walmart brand white bread.
No, what? No, it's not. Just look. If
That
it
doesn't
says
look like Walmart
Sandoichi,
white
I
bread.
trust it. I trust it. I trust that.
Yeah, we've reached the end. I'm not going to talk about this Taki ramen tostada. I
Oh.
don't think that deserves the light of day. A ramen
Taki-
noodle cake is flash fried, smothered with made from scratch savory seasoned taco meat, and topped with crispy Asian sesame seed slaw and a drizzle of garlic lime aioli. Finally, Mexican queso blanco.
They spelled that wrong. That's a typo.
Oopsies.
That's supposed to be
Oh.
queso blanco.
Queso blanco and
They
crumbled
can't even spell the
taki.
description right.
On a completely not to take us off on a tangent, completely unrelated to the Taki ramen, Jameson, what are the symptoms of salmonella poisoning?
Well, yeah, I don't
Completely
know.
unrelated to the food you just mentioned.
What's going on with that dish? That is like just some incredibly inebriated person just whipping a bunch of stuff. That looks like a punishment that we would come up with for a fantasy football league.
All right, let's see where the Sandos are. They're in 40. Can y'all see 40 on the map? Help me out here. This is good.
What is this?
podcast.
Dora the Explorer?
40 is right next to look, it's in the little tower building food
Oh,
court.
great.
right there
The
next
food
to your
court? Oh, beautiful.
I don't really like going into the food court.
It gives me
overwhelms
anxiety.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a dome of noise. And I think if I get there early enough, I might grab a corny dog and then a light little sandwich, so nice, delightful
Sando?
way to start the day. Little Sando. Yeah. I don't know. I'll report back. It's also probably like 1 billion coupons, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
I'm
a
not surprised.
billion.
Well, not actually 1 billion, but you get the point.
But why would you say that? Now the dear
Hypothetical.
listeners of Pod are going to go out and buy 1 billion coupons, and then find out that the deep fried crab is like 50.
Damn.
There will be
Well-
some egregious prices. There's no doubt about it.
So even though we just went through all of these, I usually never even touch them. I just go for a
Oh,
bunch of corn dogs, just being honest. So it's just fun to talk about. It's fun to dream about what could be. But
There's been times where we've dreamed and we've succeeded, like with the corn dog beer, we succeeded. But
We
about
did.
90% of the time, we usually never try these. I think there was one year I tried really hard to get the thing that we were talking all about. I think it was like gumbo balls or something, and I never got it.
yeah. Well, okay. So what item genuinely do you want me to go try and attempt to get this year?
The fireball, the fried fireball.
Okay, fried fireball. We can all agree on that. Okay, I will
Yes.
do that. I will get the fried fireball.
There
And
it
you know
is.
what? Like hypothetically, if I were to mysteriously find a full strength fireball somewhere along the line and replace that with replace the malt liquor with that, might do that as well. I don't know. Hypothetically,
I think you should, just to help the actual one go down, Bob.
maybe.
I agree.
Just as
It's a
Jameson was
pre-fireball.
reading.
What if I upgraded it to a fire and ice, fried
Oh.
fireball?
Oh, fire and ice is a dangerous game, Bobby.
We, depending on how OU does, we might tango with that option, but who knows? So,
Oh my God.
oh
This
goodness,
was fun. This was fun.
this is great. What we kind of broke out of I don't know why this started as rigid as it did, but we broke out of it and got into a really good rhythm. It was a really good podcast. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I love talking about these things every year. I'm sad that I won't be there, but Bobby, I'm gonna be really upset if you don't take that fried fireball. So we'll be waiting.
I'll go find it. I'll take it right to the dome for the boys. You know, for those who could not make it with me, I will go
Yes,
ahead and do that.
take an extra 2 for us.
I'm not going to commit to that, but I'm going to think about it.
Bobby, I'm prepared to give you 1% of my equity in the Schooner Pod in perpetuity for a Fruity Pebble pickle straight to the dome.
I don't want that. I don't want that
on the pod. As 1%. How much do you believe in the pod? You know, it could be this could be $1 billion pod.
How much do I believe in our non-existent financial structure? I don't.
Don't talk about that. No. We don't want people to know this.
IRS.
You know,
IRS legally cannot listen to podcasts.
The Fruity Pebble pickle straight to the dome might be the one that goes viral.
Fruity Pebble pickle straight to the dome.
Straight to the dome. No words. You gotta have eyes locked on the camera.
Just a Mr. Beast ass thumbnail.
Eyes locked on the camera the whole time. You got 30 seconds.
A fried fireball shot?
Locked.
What? Hey, everybody make their face for the thumbnail.
Hey, make fun of Mr. Beast all you want. He is on an NBA jersey now as a sponsor.
Yes, that's actually kind of cool.
That is a little bit cool. But all right, well, that has been our podcast. I think we actually ended up talking about this longer than the actual game. But look, if you enjoyed this, well,
what's wrong?
Next pod. Well, that is fair. But if you enjoyed this, well, our next podcast is going to be nothing like that, in the sense of probably like we're not going to be talking about food, but we'll be just messing around for way too long. And that will be the Weekend Spread, coming out tomorrow, live on YouTube on Wednesday, in your pod feeds on Thursday. That's where we will make our official U Texas picks and bring on Boat and Blake to go over the rest of the Week 6 slate. If you listened to all of this show and wondered, where is the football talk? It is on your podcast feed and you didn't listen to it yet. So you can go down and check that out as well. It is linked here on the YouTube channel as well. So, Jameson, Ty, any final thoughts before we head out?
No, I'm tired. Let me go.
That's true. It is 11 a.m. It is 11 p.m. for you. You are tired.
I wake up in 5 hours, please.
Okay, we will release Jameson from this prison of talking. Have a good one, everyone. And if you're going to the fair, enjoy it. Boomer Sooner, beat Texas, folks. Have a good one. There we go.